Donald Trump, the 50-year lie. For 50 years, Donald Trump sold America a grand lie. Behind his name was a mind that was called a genius. But today, live on television, that lie finally broke. In American public life, no one's talent was sold as strongly as Trump's. From the gold-plated lobby to the sacred office of the White House, he built a persona of a smart businessman, a generous man, and a political genius. His entire identity rested on one belief, that he was the smartest person in every room. To prove his tremendous intelligence, he constantly mentioned the Wharton School of Finance, calling it the best school in the world, as if its name alone proved he was a once-in-a-generation genius. He used that claim like a weapon, striking down anyone who questioned it. Generals, Nobel winners, scientists, he belittled them all. But as history has shown again and again, arrogance always leads to a fall. And this time, it happened in the most public and humiliating way. He himself once said, "I asked the doctor, is there any cognitive test I can take? Because I want to silence these fake news people." But the stage wasn't a political debate, it was the late-night TV show Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jimmy Kimmel, who had himself been a target of Trump's comments, walked on stage with a smile. He referred to Trump's recent rally, where the former president once again attacked Congresswoman Jasmine Rocket, whom he repeatedly called a low IQ woman. Jimmy jokingly asked, "Do you think she's flirting with me?" The audience laughed, but his face turned serious. He said, "He's been doing this for 50 years, putting others down. Remember when he demanded Obama's college records, doubting his intelligence? Well, it's time to show the real truth." Jimmy reached under his desk and pulled out a thick file, the real document from Wharton University. The audience fell silent. This is Donald Trump's 1970 Wharton aptitude test. He put on his glasses and began to read. Verbal reasoning, 92nd percentile. Mathematical reasoning, 87th percentile. But overall cognitive score, only 30th percentile. The whole studio burst into laughter. Jimmy said, "That's not just average, that's below average." 60% of students at that time scored better than Trump. And with that, the myth of the stable genius finally collapsed. Then he lifted the second page of the document. An internal note reveals that Trump's father, Fred Trump, was a major donor to the university and had promised financial support. The camera zoomed in on Jimmy's face, so he didn't get in through talent, but through money and connections. The studio erupted in applause. 50 years of deception had finally been exposed.
The story of Donald Trump is not just about politics, it's about the art of image building. He was a man who turned his name into a brand, his towers into symbols of power, and his lies into something that sounded like truth. Trump's strategy was always simple: speak louder, repeat endlessly, and never back down. That formula carried him from the world of business to the pinnacle of politics. From his earliest media appearances, he sold himself as the ultimate symbol of success. To him, television shows, press conferences, and social media were not just platforms. They were his stage. He knew how to play with the camera. He could turn every controversy into free publicity. When people mocked him, he converted their mockery into fuel. His golden rule was clear: even bad publicity is still publicity. There was always a strange paradox within him. He often claimed he didn't care what others thought, yet he constantly measured his worth through applause, ratings, and polls. Every speech, every tweet was a performance designed to prove one thing: that he was the smartest man in the room. To Trump, intelligence wasn't about reasoning or empathy. It meant domination. If he could intimidate someone or silence a critic, that was proof, in his eyes, of his superior intellect. Psychologists who have studied Trump describe him as a classic narcissist, hungry for admiration, allergic to criticism, and deeply committed to the story he tells about himself. When he bragged about his college achievements, he wasn't just recalling history. He was reinforcing the myth that he was a born genius destined to win. But behind the story stood a man constantly fighting to cover his weaknesses. His business empire stumbled repeatedly. Several of his casinos and hotels filed for bankruptcy. Yet he never admitted defeat. He would simply rename failure as a smart business decision. During the 1990s, as financial troubles mounted, Trump reportedly went to bizarre lengths to protect his image. He even called reporters pretending to be his own PR agent, John Barron, to spread stories about how wealthy, successful, and admired Donald Trump was. It was all part of the same illusion. The world must never see him lose.
Let us know what you think in the comments, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel.